ਸਾਂਝਾ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਂਝ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ। ਪੂਰਨ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਫਿਰ ਨਿੱਘਾ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ। ਪਿਛਲੇ ਦਿਨੀ ਬੌਬ ਸੋਰਾਇਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਮਾਰਕਮ ਯੂਨੀਅਨਵਿਲ ਤੋਂ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਆਫ ਪਾਰਲੀਮੈਂਟ ਨੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਪ੍ਰੈਸ ਕਾਨਫਰੰਸ ਕੀਤੀ ਗਈ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਕਿ ਸਾਡਾ ਵੱਖਰਾ ਮੀਡੀਆ ਪਹੁੰਚਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੈਰਿਜੂਆਨਾ ਲੀਗਲ ਹੋਣ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਦਿਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਨੁਕਸਾਨ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੇ ਨੇ। ਤੇ ਆਓ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਚੱਲੀਏ ਇਸੇ ਪ੍ਰੈਸ ਕਾਨਫਰੰਸ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਬੌਬ ਸੋਰਾਇਆ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਆਫ ਪਾਰਲੀਮੈਂਟ
is bringing this legislation July 1st or sometimes in July, that cannabis, marijuana will be legalized in this country. On one hand, we are telling the kids to stop smoking. Smoking is bad for you. And the other hand, we are saying is we're going to legalize marijuana. It's good for you. We are sending the mixed messages to our youth, to the whole thing. Medical community, the science community, and the police authorities, they're all against it. Let's talk about the police authority. I sat down one-on-one 2 weeks ago with the York Regional Police Chief. Many concerns he brings to the table. First of all, the training. We have 700 plus the front officer, on the front line officers. Out of them, either 30 or 40, they are the only trained people. Only 4 more officers will be sent for training in 2018. So it's less than 5% or 5% or 6%. The entire police in York region will be trained. How are they going to catch those people? Is if you listen to MAD, the ladies group that's against it's called MAD, the Women Against the Drunk Drivings. They're saying total 530 people died in 8 provinces in 2017, which they were high on marijuana. 530. That's a lot of people died on this issue. How are we going to balance it? We don't have the front officer people trained. We don't have the authorized machine. In Solicitor General or the Attorney General of Canada has not authorized what machine they can buy or they can use. Till they buy the machine, this is the latest machine which can take the swab from your and test how much. How strong this drug is in your system. We don't have no authorized machine. Training cannot start. How could you bring this legislation? It's a totally irresponsible bill they're bringing in July 2018. The officers are not ready. They are not trained. The second thing, the money issue is another big issue. The entire money located for this for the police training or the authority training is $274 million over 5 years. 70% of the money goes to the federal agencies. Only 30% money comes to the entire the 3 provinces, the 10 provinces and 3 territories. Only 30%. So if you bring it down, York region, the entire York region get $1.5 million over 5 years, or $300,000 a year. Cost against it about $20 million. Training the officers, buying the machines, buying the equipments. The next question comes when the police is not ready, they are not trained. We don't have the hardware machinery to detect how much cannabis is in your system. Till today, 40% of the people charged with the smoking marijuana, they get off. 40%. Every time, every 100 charges, 40 of them get dropped because the judges are not ready. The system is not ready. It's hard to prove it without the hardware. How much drugs is in your system? All those things, keeping in mind, it's a simply we should wait till 2019. If he's listening to me, Mr. Trudeau, we should leave it till 2019 and let the people decide. We have an election coming up in October 2019. Let's go to the people, ask the additional question, say, are we ready? Are we ready to have ready for the legalize this marijuana? So I'm not ready. I give you my example. I always thought, I bet you many other people, they tell our kids, work hard, study hard, stay in school, and education. Again, medical community is saying simply, your brain doesn't develop till you're 25 years old. To buy cigarettes lately, I mean, I was driving back from Ottawa last night. I stopped at the gas station to buy some gas, and clearly the cashier at the gas station was wearing the sign, show ID to buy smokes till you're 25 years old. To buy cigarettes, we are looking for the ID. We're not going to sell you the cigarettes. But in this case, we are saying, we are ready to go. Simply irresponsible on the issue. That was the main thing in my chest. Or anything else you guys want to talk about, we're ready to talk about.
When I drive along Young Street,
Yes.
if I want half closed door shop selling cannabis,
Sorry?
selling marijuana, do I pass, drive along Young
Yes,
Street?
yes, yeah.
North, and so one shop, half door opening, and then we see clients buying marijuana. So is that illegal selling right now? Is the police enforceable to arrest that?
As per the Canadian law is a Canadian law. It's illegal to sell. It's simply illegal. I tell you, we are getting a number of complaints. I don't want to give you the addresses here to cause any trouble. People calling from the neighboring houses, people calling from the condominium, people calling from the rental properties. They are saying, the 10 days ago, I personally took the call. The lady said, I have a 3 years home. My apartment stinks like, what can I do? What options do I have? I asked the same question to the York Regional Police Chief. He said, call us, let us know. We can go back, we will speak to those people. So the problem, when the product is illegal, we having issue today. Imagine after July 1st, what will happen? So the people are smoking, we have the issues, lots of kids, lots of families have issues with the many medical issues. It is a totally irresponsible legislation. It should stop at any cost. I'm hoping they will leave it till 2019 when we can ask the people what they want to do with it. We will, in a sense, is a referendum on this legislation.
What's the possibility, because the government stands very strong on that, pass legislation at July 1st. So you look at what happened in the Senate to pass legislation on the amend the national anthem. Conservative put on strong fight, but still the motion passed and it's become law, just waiting for royal consent. In terms of the marijuana legislation, what can conservative do?
One thing the people can do, remember 3 months ago, 4 months ago, 5 months ago, they brought this small tax on the small business. I believe 21,000 people called finance minister's office, and another 30,000 people called in the federal different agencies. 50,000 people called. That make a difference. They went back on the thing and they're rewriting the whole thing. They're giving a number of exceptions on the small business. So even though they have a majority government, the pressure from public will make the difference. Your calls. See, if you call all their Liberal MPs' offices, right? So they be telling their MPs, this many people call, this many people call. This is the pressure. This pressure will make the difference. You make the difference. All of you make the difference. Going back to the MPs or the health minister's office to say, it's wrong. Wait till 2019. That will make the difference.
So Ontario government authorized LCBO to sell marijuana, and I know many cities in your region, including Richmond Hill and also Markham, they object this like the authorizations of LCBO here, but the Ontario government said they have no right to reject all that. So have you talked to the local government, mayors, committee, or any MPPs in here to talk about what's going on, or if the Ontario government forces the authorization of LCBO in Markham area, what should we do?
Richmond Hill and Markham, the both municipalities says no to selling the shops, not authorizing any shops in Richmond Hill and in Markham. But the government is so short-sighted. They are looking at the tax, how much money they're going to make out of it. They're short-sighted in a sense. They're not looking at the long-term effect on it, right? The government argument is they're going to stop the black market. How can they stop the black market? In 2018, they estimated they're going to open 50 stores in the entire country, 50 stores. What the people are going to drive 40 miles, 30 miles, 20 miles to buy a dope or cannabis? It doesn't work. And on top of their competition is the black market. The black market sells very strong marijuana. So how are they going to compete with them? Right? They simply, the policy is wrong. It won't work out. So the solution, wait till 2019. Wait till, let go to the people. So again, it's the 50 shops in 2018 and 150 till 2020. That's what I'm told. It says, we have no issues on the medical marijuana situation. If anybody need it, if somebody need it for the medical reason, you can go to the doctors today. I know some people. They are authorized to buy some plants, to raise some plants. Talk about plants. One thing came into my mind from York Regional Police. If we are allowed to raise plants in their homes, how do you monitor them? Do the police have the manpower to say, knock, 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 York Regional Police, can I check your plants? How big are they? How many are they? How do we enforce these things? Also, as I said earlier, 40% of those cases thrown out. Also, I learned from the police chief, people who, let's say people are authorized to have 6 plants, right? If they get caught with the 60 plants, not 6, 60, they're saying these are ready to harvest. These are 2 months away. These are the baby ones, right? How do you police that? How do you police it? How do you deal with it? How we are getting into the territory. This is one of the biggest legislation they're bringing in on the drugs issues, and it's a simply irresponsible one. And we will fight. I will fight. Our senators will fight till the last minute.
I think it's just the concerned issue with the local municipalities, people like some like MPP, mostly they are liberal based, and also the local government, the mayor or councillors.
It doesn't matter, are they municipal, are they provincial, are they federal? It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter who it is. Your pressure, making calls, we don't want to sell it. It's just wrong. Those things make the difference. As I said to you, in the small business tax situation, it's the pressure from the people made the difference. This is when the Minister of Finance backed out for many, many of those issues because 50,000 calls were called in to the federal government.
Can I ask you some issues?
Yes, sir.
Other than marijuana, what do you think about the impact of Me Too movement recently? Impact on politics?
It's making a difference. Look, everybody have the right, especially our ladies, the younger, it's making the difference, it's making it right. It'll make it. You see the difference what's happening in the PC government, PC party up here, and ND party was something yesterday in Ottawa. It's a good thing. And the ladies, the women have the right to work in a friendly space, and they earn it, and it's no favor to anybody, and it's making the difference. It will make the difference.
But do you think it's unfair to those male politicians?
It's let's talk about the victims first.
That's why I'm sitting here.
Let's talk about the victims first. The victims come first. They will sort it out one way or the other. But we believe in the dual system. I heard from the both sides argument. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. It'll sort itself out. It's just a matter of time.
We're just talking about the gender of the victims, right?
Yeah.
But I'll see in different angle. Right now, it's no case, but a public verdict or public judgment. All right, it's challenging the legal system. All right, when everyone should be believed to be innocent. Now it's changing the rule now.
No, it's reporters like you, for example. We expect you to be fair when you report something. We expect someone like you to be balancing the act, balancing the report. As long as you balancing the report, it'll be fine. The only problem is when the report is not balanced. The report is not listened to one of those from the both sides. That's just the. I agree with you. It's just if it's public trial, it doesn't do any good to the politician as well as for the country. So I urge you, I respect you. I think make sure when you're reporting something, be fair to the both sides.
So I don't know what is the atmosphere in Parliament Hill right now? Because many people, not only sexual harassment, but the workplace harassment, like Green Party leaders, she is also pointing to the allegations of harassment. So what is the atmosphere now in Parliament Hill?
Atmosphere is maybe a little tense, but it's working it out. As far as I'm concerned, it's all good as long as you make the difference, as you balance it. If nobody in this day, in this century, in this time, nobody should be harassed. No should be harassed in any which way.
Do you think that's the in Canada or in Ontario, we don't have enough like the protections for the people working in the workplace, especially like not only in the private sector but also in the public sectors? That is, we should do more improvement in the workplace harassment, how to protect the workers there.
I think we are moving forward to it. This started from the government side, is going to trickle down to the private sector. What you see in the United States from the Hollywood film industry is clearing out the entire rotten people from the system. So it's all good. It'll come down to the private sector. It's just a matter of time.
So we need to improve our labor law or anything from the federal level and to the provincial level. We should do more, or do you think that the government is not doing enough to protect the workers in there?
The labor laws are. I believe it'll be the two-part thing here. One is the private sector, one is the federal side. I think that some few things are coming on the federal side. Anytime the federal side gets changed, the private sector go next. It's just, as I said, it's a matter of time when the both sides are going to be balanced out. Right?
So the point is that I think most of the victims, they don't file any case to the police. Is that they don't believe the police can solve their problem, or they rely on the public opinion to solve the problem?
The issue came to the table recently. If you see, there's about 2 million calls came to the United States, 2 million. So people are getting aware of the situation. If you see on the news every single day, is either Patrick Brown, Rick Dykstra, or whoever the person may be, this thing is making the difference. It's a good start. This is all good. As far as I'm concerned, it's all good. Anything you want to add up?
Sexual harassment or anything like that is basically is a bully format. Doesn't matter if it's a private sector's community or in politics. Doesn't matter in any form. They should be all victims should be encouraged to come out, to speak out, and to have whoever who has bullied them or harass them to be bring forward for justice. But in politics is a little bit different flavor. In politics is the politician has a different standard. And secondly is the voters is voting a government or a group of people to come out to represent them. So those politician has been potentially labeled as misconduct and whatnot. Right now, for example, Ontario PC, doesn't matter whether you are the party leader, whether you are the president. Ontario PC party actually has done very quickly, not like the Liberal, take 4 or 5 years before anything happened, not like the federal Liberal, and even though someone is being sexually harassed or as mentioned, and that person still sitting on a caucus. Ontario PC basically just quickly replace those people and want the voters, more importantly, is to focus what's happening for June 7th for the general election, because we want the voters to vote for good government, not corrupted government, to vote for the issue they concern, not the sexual harassment issue or overlay on the more important issues, what it is. So no question, Ontario PC is going through a tremendous tsunami. But more importantly is we want the voters to more spend the interest and the specific concern into for the economics. How does the new government going to be voted for? How do they make the economic better? How to make the seniors or the youth services better, our healthcare, our transit, or whatever other services is better. So we want to remove all these noise. So-called the noise is the sexual harassment concern. Remove those people and have new people and clean and right people to bring the party forward and let the Ontarians to vote for a better government, not a corrupted government.
If you look at the federal side, the question came this week, why was there was a complaint against Dick Dykstra in 2014, I believe. Why was he allowed to run in 2015? So Andrew Scheer, the leader of Conservative Party, hired a third party, not somebody from your party, hired a third party to get to the bottom of it. The third party will report to Rick Dykstra, to Andrew Scheer regarding Rick Dykstra's situation, and he will take action. What happened in 2015, as Alex said, we are not sitting on our hands like the Liberals. We want to get to the bottom of this. The workplace safety is an issue. We want to make sure it is tackled right.
So do you think that, like, in the future, like, maybe more women would just come out and make the sexual allegation, and then the political environment will be changed?
We want to encourage them to come out. We want them to come out now, not wait for 10 years or 5 years or whatever number of years. We want to encourage them to come out now. Why do you being harassed or bullied and you go home and psychologically all disturbed and upset and whatnot? It is your right to come out to speak up. Like and for example, for the Conservative side, Ontario PC, doesn't matter you're the leader, doesn't matter you're the president, doesn't matter what your position is. You do wrong or potentially do wrong, we want to remove you. We want to make it right. But not like the Liberal. The Liberal want to hide and do nothing. Like the gas plant, they hide and do nothing for 3-5 years until something else happens.
In this situation, if I can add something up, we want you to discourage the women to come forward, run for the political offices. Either they're in the municipalities, provincial, or the federal side. That will solve it in no time. Putting and encouraging more people to come forward, become MPs, councillors, mayors, that will solve the problem in no time, right?
Any comment about after negotiation?
Oh, boy. So far, it's a sad situation. So far, we haven't seen much positive. We need better government to negotiate with Donald Trump. The liberal government has nothing. First of all, there are many issues. The way Prime Minister Trudeau and his team is negotiating with them, you can chop it out in many different ways. First of all, they're going side by side with the Mexicans. The Americans are okay to negotiate with Canada alone than the Mexico. There is one of the wedge issues there. But if I was Prime Minister Trudeau, I will change the tactics to get it done now. We know we are right on it, and we don't want to get bullied by with Donald Trump. We create 9 million jobs in the U.S. in the closest 32 states. So as much as harm to us is the same harm, or if not more, to the United States. It's all about sitting. When Andrew Scheer is the Prime Minister, I'm pretty sure he can sit down with Donald Trump or whoever it is on the table and look in the eye, say, let's sort out what are the issues. So far, there's not much to report. It's all, you see it in the news on every single day.